this is Andy or Crow. You can call me either. And I'm crowstitcher here on YouTube. I almost forgot what this was for. Today is Monday, May 5th, 2025, and it's Flosstube 41. So welcome in to anyone who is new, anyone who might be returning. I appreciate all of you so much, and I'm glad you're here. So, I do have a couple announcements today. So, some of you might know Jade, the 310 Stitcher. I will tag her below. A couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks by now, I don't remember. In her last Flosstube, she had a big announcement where she is, or what she was planning at the time, and now the details are all set. But she's basically hosting a retreat in Ottawa, Canada. And I ummed and awed over it, and because of funds and expenses for traveling and all that kind of stuff. But I did this morning purchase my ticket, so I will be going, but I wanted to give you all the details in case you were unaware, so that you could look it up. I'll put the website below in the description as well, so that you could look it up if you were interested, or maybe sign up and join. So it is the Gathering Thread Retreat. I almost dropped everything everywhere. And it's Friday, August 22nd to Sunday, August 24th. And it's at the Hilton Garden Inn Airport Hotel in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. So there will be stitching, the stitching rooms. She will be having vendors there. I think there's a couple confirmed at the moment, but she'll keep announcing them. There will be the freebie table, brag table, kind of the things that you expect out of retreat. A smalls exchange if you want to participate in that. A goodie bag. She's hoping to have some massage chairs there, which is like awesome. But I think the neat thing about this is, I'm holding my notebook and I don't need it anymore, is that it's for any kind of fiber art. So cross stitch, obviously, but also if you're a knitter, if you're a crocheter, if you spin lace, or if you're a tatter, anything embroidery, anything that's fiber art related. So it's a place where everyone can come together and maybe talk about different crafts, maybe introduce someone to a craft, or help someone who might be new to the craft or starting a craft. So it's not exclusive. It's for everyone who's interested in fiber arts and who does fiber arts. And I just think that is so neat. It's the first year, obviously, for the retreat, and she's hoping to make it an annual thing. And it's that bit of uniqueness to it that I found. And of course, I love Jade, but that I found really intriguing and compelling to go. Quilters. So, like I said, I did sign up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna fly or drive. It's about a 7-hour drive from where I am. Flying would be nice because it's like right there. But I have time to figure that out. So this will be my first retreat in person. I'm very excited. If you are gonna go or thinking about going, let me know. And I'm definitely in in public, I definitely have a look of fuck off and don't approach me. That's just my standard look. Um, so, but hopefully you can tell from my floss tubes that I'm not an asshole. So, if you see me there and I just kind of have that resting fuck off face, do still come up and say hi because, I like to think I'm hopefully a nice person. Um, but I am quite an introvert and quite shy amongst people I don't know with my anxiety and everything. So I probably won't be one to come up to you. But maybe by the end of the weekend I'll get over that. Um, but yeah. So that's that. I will put the website and I will tag Jade 310 Stitcher below. The second announcement I have is the Spring Mingle. I couldn't remember what it was called. I think I called it the Spring Fling in my Mythical May video, and that was wrong. It's the Spring Mingle. I was able to join a little. It's hosted by Lindy Stitches, and I was able to go. Not as much as I wanted to because, like I said, I had the event on Wednesday. Or sorry, wow. I had the event for my candle business on Saturday, and then, which took up most of the day. When I got home, I was just dead tired and wanted to just do nothing. And then Sunday, I still was kind of recouping from that, so it was more the afternoon. I finally got into some of the stitchy rooms and just kind of. I had my video on, but didn't really talk at all. Didn't have anything really to. I was still, like I said, still kind of recovering. But anyway, the point of this is that the stitching rooms are still open. Well, I don't know if all of them are. I think she kind of whittled it down to a few. I know the international one, when I looked this morning, was still there, and maybe like five or six others. So there's still some stitching rooms that will be open for this coming week. So I had a good time in the international room yesterday, and like I said, when I looked this morning, that was still there. So I don't know if you can still purchase tickets, but if you did have a ticket and you want to hop on, those will still be there for the week. And I'll probably hang out in the international room whenever I can. So if you want to come and say hi, I'll be there when I can. Okay. Stitching. My new start for last week was Dinosaur Battle. Artwork is by. I don't know. I need to look at my card. Actually, I don't need to look at the card. Artwork. I have a bit of a migraine today, so I have a sinus migraine because of the weather, so I'm a bit not quite all with it. So David Penfound is the artist. It's charted by Heaven and Art Designs. It looks like this. And I love it because I love dinosaurs. Fun fact, I wanted to be a paleontologist. Like, that was what I was going to be, 100%. And when I was in 8th grade, we had to do, basically, like, for this one class, every project that we had to do or paper that we had to do, I was able to relate it to paleontology somehow. So everything was on paleontology. And, like, that was literally what I was going to be, till I interviewed a paleontologist and discovered that my arachnophobia and severe arachnophobia on dig sites wouldn't be the best thing. So I'm not a paleontologist. But like I said, never really grew out of that. And still love all of that. But anyway, so this was my new start. And when I say new start, it's a pretty sad new. Oh, by the way, this is the bag it's in. Let's eat, kids. Let's eat, kids. Punctuation saves lives. Let's eat, kids. Perfect. Okay. So I got 166 stitches done. That is it. But I did start it. It is officially on the go. I'm doing it 1/1 on 22 count. And that is my, why aren't you focusing? There we go. That is my sad new start. So it's a little bit of sky and then some of the tree trunk. That's it. So it's 166 stitches out of 314,300, and I'm at 0.05%. I almost didn't want to show it. Like, I felt so, not ashamed, but like really? Is it even worth showing? But it is. There are 166 stitches in there. And, yeah. So, I kept it on the Q-snap because I had, and still do, have visions of putting a little bit more into it before it gets put away. But we'll see how that works. Okay, top 3. The 3 projects with the most amount of stitches this past week. Excuse me. Hiccups. Coming in at number 3 was Cake Shop. Artwork is by Teresa Mathers, charted by Charting Creations. This is one of the dragon whips that I'm working on for Mythical May. And I now have 4,958 stitches out of 161,191. And I'm at 3.08%. Oh my god. Sorry, my tablet's being really slow. I hope that's not a sign of it. Oh! We need to spin for a new start while that's figuring out its life. Let's spin for this week's new start. So I think there's 159 on the wheel. Oh my god, my tablet is seriously... Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's get this. I almost forgot we need to spin. The Glowing Pumpkin. This is by Sarah Richter, charted by Thread Geeks. And now that this finally opened, I need to close it to show you this piece. And funnily enough, this has dragons. So it goes with our Mythical May Dragon Edition. This is what it will look like. Trying to get it so you don't see the glare from the monitor. So they're lighting the pumpkin with their fire breath, and that's just amazing. And all the owls and I love it. I mean, it's going to be a dark 310 start on the top left, but how funny is that? Dragons for the new start for my dragon Mythical May. So if anyone didn't watch that video, Crafty Dynamite is hosting May's community style. There's a group of us that kind of rotate each month, and one of us takes the style for the month. And she chose Mythical May. So I decided to work on all of my dragon whips in May, of which I have 25. I did a video showing all of them, but I forgot Heart of Black and White, even though I had it on my list. I forgot to pull it. And then I also forgot that 3 of my long dog samplers have dragons. So I think I have 25 dragon whips. And now this will make it 26. So that's kind of funny. Okay, number 3. Coming in at number 3 with the most amount of stitches was Cake Shop by Teresa Mather, charted by Charting Creations. I'm doing it over 1 on 25 count. Did I give you the stats? I think I gave you the stats. I now have 4,958 stitches out of 161,191, and I'm at 3.08%. So this was one of my legacy full coverages to get to 3%, so I did do that, and I got to check it off, which was awesome. But it will look like this. Lots of dragons. And we did get to some dragon wing. I'm doing it on Stormy Night. So that I wasn't doing all the white on white. And this is what it looks like at the moment. So I fold this so that. Okay. So I finished off. Yeah, I finished off this diagonal. It was mostly down here where the cherry stem is. Then filled in all of the parked threads that I had on the next diagonal. And then, you can just see it, I wanted to get some dragon in. So I did the little tip of the wing there. So that's the edge of the dragon's blue wing. And there are stitches over here from before I started converting it to diagonals. So it's still in the conversion process, but it looks so good. I just want to eat cake. I want cake. We have some pecan pie downstairs, which is not cake, but it's still delicious. Okay. Coming in at number 2 was Queen of the Night. Artwork by Sarah Richter, I'm pretty sure. Charted by Thread Geeks. I now have 5,310 stitches out of 34,992, and I'm at 15.17%. And she will look like this. I love it so much. And I started doing this 2 over 1/2 cross on 28 count, and then decided I didn't like it, so I started converting it to 1 over 1 full cross. This is how small it's going to be. Look at that. Look how cute. But what I did was I worked in all of the threads that I had that were 2 strands. So that's why it goes over the over the diagonal more, and then I went in and started filling in the 1 over 1 full cross. So I did all of this that you see over here that was working in the threads, the two stranded threads, and then filled in all of that. And I think it's looking absolutely fantastic. And you know what? Honestly, you really can't even tell where I switched over up close, but especially from further back. You aren't going to see it at all. So okay. And then coming in at number 1, I don't know what I'm doing here. Coming in at number 1 was Christmas Shops. Artwork is by Betsy Brown. I say confidently. I think it's Betsy Brown. Let me bring it up and look. It's taking its sweet ass time. Okay. Yes. Artwork by Betsy Brown, charted by the Crowstitcher Studio. I have now 3,240 stitches out of 630,000, and I'm at 0.51%. And it will look like this. Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, is also stitching this. And Darren, the Dizzy Stitcher, is also stitching it. So go and check them out. I'll tag both of them below. I love this piece so much. And I'm doing it 1/1 on 28 count. Look, I know I've showed this before, but I love this bag from Alara. Ooh, Alara said that she's considering going to that retreat as well, so yeah. I love this bag. Ugh. Okay, it has nothing to do with the Christmas shops, but I wanted to use it. And this is where I am. So I got another diagonal completely finished. And you can see the corner, like the stone of the corner of the building coming in. And then this is the sign, and then this is the, so this bit here you can see coming in, and see how the sign has the ironwork. That diagonal has this bit right there you can see coming in. Right down here. So I think I had some of this up here done and some of like the snow done, and I did the rest of that diagonal. Looks so nice. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite pieces. Jen calls it the 50 Shades of Brown, which, I mean, she's not wrong. Okay, now we're in the honorable mentions. So, the first one is Sexy Booty. Hi. If I can open it. I'm going to have to insert a picture. This, actually I need to bring it up so I know who it's by, because I just have it on my computer. Cross stitch patterns. Sexy Booty. It is that's designed by Natalia Batrak. Batrak? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And her company's My Lovely Embroidery. And I will insert a picture. It's a small piece, and there's a companion piece that's called Sexy Boobs, which I'm going to do as well. And those are going to go in the bathroom. So this was a new start, and I'm doing it on a 14 count, like gray Aida. And I have the other piece cut as well. So they're all just gonna, and they're in my Stay Golden Girls bag. So this is where I got to on it. And the needle minder was perfect. I made it myself. So at the moment it kind of looks just like a heart, but it's going to be a booty. Booty. This was actually really fun to stitch. There's some blends in there. But it's not bad. So I'm really looking forward to working more on that one. And then the second honorable mention is Hot Chocolate Dragon, which was one of my Dragon for Mythical May pieces. And this is artwork by Stanley Morrison, charted by Pain Free Crafts. I now have, give me the info, 2,138 stitches out of 70,151, and I'm at 3.05%. And this is what he will look like. So this is not a full coverage. The background here is not stitched. So I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 22 count, like, vintage oatmeal fabric that I got from a D-stash when I was on Facebook. And do I have a before picture? I want to say I do. Because I'm trying to take before pictures to post in Dynamite's Discord. I do. So this is my before picture. Wait, let me get it so it's hopefully focuses on the camera. And this is where we are now. So, let me get my board. It's hard to see, but I did do a lot of the lighter, like 3865 over here for his neck. Like the scales coming down the front of his neck, and then filled in a lot here. So he's looking real good. I love this piece. Alrighty. So that's all I have to show you today. There's no clue piece. I did decide on what I'm going to do for clue. I talked about last week that I was giving clue a break because I kept just getting the same, like, 2 whips over and over and over again. And I was getting bored. So what I did was I decided to put a cap limit on it. And I went through to my, I think they're all legacy to get to 3% pieces, and our wheel, and I spun the wheel and picked 8. And I'm going to cap the stitches at 3,000. So once a piece gets pulled enough that, like, let's say Village that I got 3,000 stitches into it, that'll come off, and I'll spin the wheel and replace it with something else. So that's what I'm going to do for the clue, so that there's a rotation. So even if, like, Village keeps getting pulled and pulled and pulled, it will only get 3,000 stitches, and then it will get replaced with something else. So I'll get a rotation. even if it still lands on that slice of the wheel, right? Or if that gets pulled out, like it'll still get rotated through instead of just keeping them there until they were done, and because it was just too much. So we'll start that next week, and then the 9th starts the Giro d'Italia, which is Friday. I had to look at the calendar. So I will be doing the first stitches for that on my put seeds in your pocket piece. And let me see what the first stitches are. The first day, May 9th, is 160 stitches. And then it's funny because the 10th is only 14. So, and there's a couple rest days in there. So as a reminder, it's for the Giro d'Italia bike race, the Tour of Italy. And so whatever the amount of kilometers that they ride per day is what you stitch. So there's, most of them are like between 100 and 200. There's a couple that are over, a little over 200. Then there's the one day that's 14 and one day that's 29. And then a couple rest days. So, but in total, you'll still get 3,411 stitches in on the piece. So that'll start on, what did I say, Friday? So I'll add that into the mix as well. So you'll start seeing that next Flosstube. It won't have much added to it by then, but I'll start showing that next week. So that is, oh, and I got the idea from that from Laura at I Stitch Birds. So I'll try to remember to tag her below as well. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. So have a great week. I will do my best to do the two. I wasn't able to get the 2 Stitch with Me's in last week because of prepping for the event. So I will do that this week. We'll have the talking and then the quiet. And then if I don't see you for those, I will see you next week for the regular Flosstube next Monday. Have a great week. Stay healthy, stay safe, and happy stitching. We'll see you next time.